So we're back. We're finally back. And I say that as if it's been a really long time, but yeah. I had a bit of trouble, but we should be back on track with having a little bit more videos coming out at a faster rate. But hey, today we're going to talk about my top 5 returning monsters for Sunbreak, because I have somewhat of an idea of the monsters that I want to see return to Sunbreak. So let's start off with number 1, Gigginox. Yeah, because who doesn't want to see Gigginox come back? It's been a long while, since 3U, since we've seen Gigginox. So Gigginox hasn't been in the 4th gen game or a 5th gen game. So unless we're going to see Gigginox again in Monster Hunter 6, I mean, I just think the theme of Gigginox and the theming of its armor sets just fits Sunbreak perfectly. Or at least it fits the whole like vampire-like theme, right? So yeah, I want to see Gigginox. I really want to see Gigginox in Sunbreak. Not only that, but Khezu needs a break. Even though Khezu is already in Rise, so you know, well shit, we can have both of them in the same game. You know, that'd actually be the best of both worlds, actually. So yeah, Gigginox, please. You know, I'm calling it right now. Gigginox is coming back to Sunbreak. I'm calling it. Remember this video. So another monster is Serengios. Another monster I feel like I've been asking for a long time, and it hasn't even been as long as Gigginox. But yes, I definitely want a Serengios back. Maybe a Serengios subspecies, or even cooler, a Serengios variant. Because I feel like variants for a lot of these flagship monsters is probably the better way to go than having like a subspecies. At least in like, you know, recent cases. I feel like that's just been like the cooler thing to do. So plus Serengios has bleed, you know, like, you know, vampire blood bleed, you know, that works, right? Serengios. Plus I think Serengios would be fun to fight in 5th gen, and especially in Rise with the wire bug. So yeah, Serengios, please Capcom. So next up, Yama Tsukami, another monster that hasn't been around for a while, and it's been even longer than the first 2 monsters I've mentioned. Actually, Yama hasn't been around since 2nd gen. Well, actually, I think Yama was in Monster Hunter Online, right? Or was it a subspecies or a variant? Well, anyway, in mainline games specifically, Yama hasn't been around since 2nd gen of Monster Hunter. So it's been a while already. So Yama Tsukami, please, and bring back a tower map. You know, let's go to the old world if we're not already in the old world, and have a special tower map that we use the wire bug to traverse through. And then like, and since it's Sunbreak, we see like the moon, or like the blood red moon or something. Like, my imagination is running wild. Just Yama Tsukami, please, and his dirty mouth. Like, I really want that. All right, so check this one out, right? Odogaron, right? Because it's kind of weird that I think Odo was based off of a yokai back in Iceborne, or back in Base World, actually, and hasn't been a thing in Rise, which has that theming. So, by the way, Odo is not a dog, by the way. Odo is a weird, demonic-looking weasel. So, he's based off a weasel monster. So, bring back Odogaron, please. He deserves to be in Rise, you know, and if not in base Rise, then Sunbreak. Even better if you actually just bring back Ebony. No, and you know what, as a matter of fact, bring them both back with their armor sets, specifically the beta sets. And last but not least, number 5 on the list, Stygians and Ogre. Now, we already have Zenogre in Rise, and Zenogre in Rise has a really cool moveset, really interesting moveset, a lot of new moves, some old moves, but just imagine what Stygian would be like in Rise. probably a lot harder than he was in Iceborne. Remember how those homing Dragon Balls were in like 3rd gen? It wasn't fun. In 3U specifically. I never liked that. But it might come back. It might come back. But yeah, I think Stygian would work perfectly. I think his color scheme like fits Sunbreak. His whole theme in general, it just like fits the aesthetic of what Sunbreak is going for. So, you know, whatever map that, you know, this new flagship monster is on, Malzeno, yeah, it can definitely work. And I can see Stygians and Ogre fitting right into that, you know, that aesthetic. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is my list. It's a relatively short list because I don't want to go off the hinges with how many returning monsters I think are coming back. But some of these are my best predictions. I think Yama is more of a stretch because if I'm being honest, I don't see Yama ever coming back. And yeah, it looks that way, but if he does, that'd be great. That'd be really good. So yeah, I'll be having a lot more videos out sooner than later, so stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Let me know your top 5 monsters, or what monsters in general or monster do you want to see come back in Sunbreak. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.